We're starting. Hey guys, welcome to HRL Season 6, round number 13. Penitentiary SX is going to be Moto 2 here. Moto 1 won by Roman, his second Moto win of the season. It got kind of overshadowed by an amazing battle that was going on from like 2nd through 6th place. That was just a great battle that lasted felt like the entire Moto. So unfortunately his Moto win got kind of overshadowed there, but you know, not to forget, that was a really nice performance out of him, obviously, getting the lead early and just holding on to it. Feels good, too, with the Genoa one being kind of white for him to just get a nice, clear Moto win, like one on this track. Let's get started with this one. We have Vulcan on the inside gate, then Slaunch, Detail, Opix, Real Deal, and Shift, and then Phil, Camby, Hunter, Luke, Roman, and Elite on the outside gate. Gate should be dropping anytime soon. And green flag. It's going to be between Slaunch and Luke for the whole shot. Luke's going to go for the outside jump, and it's going to pay off. I think Slaunch may have had the whole shot, but Luke's clearly going to get the lead. Interesting strategy right there. Actually running the outside line, trying to clear that first section, and it pays off back again. Be something that I think that's going to have to be an option that people are going to have to consider, because nobody really did. Nobody really tried to do that here in the first Moto or even in the heats and the semis. But obviously right here in the second Moto, it seems to be a good strategy. So if we see this race raced again in the future, I could see people making some big gains, maybe some people opting for the outside gate. And a good battle for the lead here between Real Deal and Luke. Real Deal had a really nice run through the rhythm. Oh, getting into him, getting side by side here for the lead. Nice back and forth battle. It's Luke, Real Deal, Detail, and then Slaunch. So Slaunch with a much better start than what he had last Moto. So this one, there's no goozes. Got to be a good race for the fast qualifier. And if Slaunch wants to keep this championship battle alive, he's got to get a either a win, or he's got to finish 2 positions ahead of Real Deal to keep this championship battle alive. Rough mistake there early out of him. Going to recover pretty quickly. Real Deal looked like he was going to take the lead, but Luke's still holding on to it. And Real Deal still holding on to second from Detail. Detail getting pretty close, though. Detail possibly with the run to make a move here. He's going to opt for the inside. So I'm just going to follow suit. I love seeing those split lines and how they even out. It's my favorite part of this track and any Supercross track. Really in Slaunch with a big mistake on the inside. Not quite sure what happened there, but that is unfortunate. That's going to cause big issues. Doesn't really, I mean, honestly, doesn't really lose a position over it. This battle for the front is getting close. Real Deal is going to have to roll through the rhythm section. Detail with big gains. Luke's still holding on to the lead, although it is pretty close up there. Detail with a poor landing. Not too bad. That wasn't that bad of a mistake, but could have been worse for sure. And this is going to be a good top 4 battle, I can already tell. We got some fast drivers up front early in this one. And where's Roman? Roman is right there, like outside the top 10 potentially, or maybe in 10th. So the Moto winner from last Moto is in a very rough spot. We could see a good battle for the overall here. And Slaunch going down on the rollover, another mistake coming out of him. Gonna have to dial down on those if he wants to keep this championship battle alive. Because like I said, he needs to either win or he needs to finish 2 positions ahead of Real Deal. So Real Deal could be in championship clinching position here at Prison Yard. Luke with a mistake on the outside of the rhythm is gonna, and we've actually seen that happen quite a bit in the first Moto. You wouldn't think of the first rhythm being a place you can make a mistake, but I saw Hunter do it, and there was someone else. I can't remember who else did it. Can't remember the other person. Someone would have to remind me. But I definitely saw Hunter do it once, maybe twice. And you wouldn't really think of that first rhythm being a spot where you can make a mistake, but it's actually been happening quite a bit here in the Motos. Maybe some pressure coming up to some of these drivers. But that's going to allow Detail to get into the lead. And he's looking pretty solid out there in front. And could be a contender could be a contender for the overall maybe. I mean, if he can hold on to this, he could be an overall contender. He just needs to get the moto win. Really, any of these like top 4 guys could be overall contenders. They just need to get a moto win, and it'd put him in really good position. Obviously, the best position right now here is for Luke if he gets a moto win because he finished second in the last moto. But Hunter would be the next one behind him, and Hunter's right there. He's really far back, and remember, he made a ton of mistakes. He had a hard time holding on to that second place last moto, so this is going to be tough for him to work his way up here when we got some pretty fast drivers out here in front, clean air in front of him. And then the next driver besides that, I know Detail got 5th in the first moto. Believe it was Slaunch who got 4th. Slaunch got 4th, so he would be the next one in line besides Luke, and he's in 4th right now. So this is going to be interesting. And then of course you have Roman who won the first moto, but where is he? Still back here. Still pretty far back. So Roman's going to have to make some huge gains if he wants to compete for this overall. He had a great start in the first moto. Rough start could really screw him over here. Top 3 between Detail, Luke, and Real Deal, pretty close. And Real Deal and Slaunch getting pretty close, and Real Deal's going to go down and get stuck on the edge of the track there. Going to have to try to recover from that one, but again, like I said, all Real Deal has to do is finish 1 position behind him, so he's in a pretty perfect position here. Of course, there'd be a little bit of reliance on Detail and Luke there, but Real Deal's in a really good championship spot right now. And Slaunch has really got the pressure on. He needs to make gains, and I mean, honestly, if he wants to keep a realistic image for this championship alive, he needs to win this moto. Why was the silence funny? I'd have to rewatch that. And yeah, this is going to be, you can tell this moto is going to be a 4-way battle between this top 4. I don't think any of these other drivers are going to be able to make fat enough gains to play a role in it. But you see Roman, he's made some moves while we were looking at these top battles, and now he's worked his way up to 6th. So Roman's worked his way up to 6th. That's not good enough for an overall. He's going to need to get like 4th at least. And there's 4th place right there. That is a long ways to go for Roman. He's going to really need to put his head down and just put in some laps here. Let's get back to the top 4 because these guys are clearly, on a roll right now. They're clearly running solid laps. They're just way out here in front. But like Salt Lake, like any other Supercross track that's really long and has a lot of spots where you can make mistakes, I guarantee you there will be mistakes out of all of these top drivers, and we could see this last all the way to the end, just because that's the type of Supercross track this is. Oh, Detail with the mistake through the rhythm. Luke around the outside. Pretty close, side by side. Oh, and Detail goes a little too high, and he's getting stuck. He's getting stuck and cannot turn. And now it's a 3-way battle for the lead. That has just gained Slaunch so much time back on these two. And now Luke's possibly going for the lead on the inside of the first rhythm. Detail's still sticking it to the outside. Slaunch trying to peek in, but just cannot get a line. Side by side, Luke and Detail still really close for the lead. Alternate lines coming out of them. Who's going to get the fast run? There goes Luke's line. It's getting a little bit of a run, but not enough of a run that he would be expecting. And here we're going to see the same thing potentially that we saw at the end of the last moto. Luke on the inside and Slaunch on the outside. But Luke's getting a bit more of a run this time into the whoop. Side by side, they're going to try to both work it around the outside. They both get loose through the rhythm section. And then here comes Real Deal slamming into him. And they're both still just not having a great run through the wall jump. Luke gets a great wall jump run. Slaunch had a really slow one, but Luke's going to opt to roll. Slaunch is going to go down. Like I said, he did not have a good wall jump run. And he decided to still go for the jump, and it did not pay off with a rough recovery. He is now in a battle right there for 5th with Hunter. So he's lost a ton of time. That is not what he needed. And this, oh, by the way, Camby's stuck, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed that. But that is not what he needed. This is going to be a really rough spot for him now because, like I said, he needs to finish like 2 spots ahead of Real Deal, or he needs to get a win, and he is just way behind now. And this top 3 is still very close. Real Deal slowing down a little bit. This could be a move for Luke for second. Side by side. It's going to be all about how these split lines even out. Running different lines. Real Deal getting really loose. Getting his cheeks in the edge right there, but not enough to mess up Luke's line. Ran really far outside and was able to hold on to that spot. Detail with a mistake. He's going to be really slow. Luke going all the way over to the left. This battle for the top spot is not over. Detail with another slow run. What is going on? No, but this is going to force Luke into the inside rhythm. Is he going to be able to hit it well? Actually does hit it pretty well, but as you can see, it's just not preferred. Now we have Real Deal possibly fighting for the lead. Luke's going to fall back to third now. Like I said, that inside rhythm, I definitely need to touch that up for when we race this again. It's just not competitive enough with the outside for how hard it is. Oh, Detail's going to take that lead back with some rough runs, but holding on to it. What is the time? Oh, we're getting close, by the way. We're getting close. This is going to be... let me check and make sure my time was correct. 28:10. Okay. Yep. Guys, I believe we're going to be hitting 3 to go this time by. So this race went by really fast. Ooh, with the big jumps, getting close. Here we go, guys. 3 to go. Which feels like a long frickin' time, because it is. 3 to go is going to be like another 4 minutes almost. Actually, isn't it another 4 minutes? Yeah, pretty much is. Oh, Real Deal. The big mistake out of Real Deal goes down in the first rhythm, and he collects Luke as well, and that is going to cost so much time. Look at how much time he lost right there. That is a costly mistake out of Real Deal. And Slaunch now gets a glimmer of hope here late in the race. But like I said, even if Slaunch can get by Real Deal here, he still needs to worry about Luke and Detail in second and first. Is he going to run the inside rhythm? He's going to back off to run the outside rhythm with Real Deal. I love those stuck gooses. That's so dumb. Is that Vulcan? Okay, I'll review that afterwards. And Detail's getting a nice gap right here. These mistakes could not have come at a better time for anybody but Detail. Detail, these mistakes came perfectly for him. He has now got a nice gap to work with coming to a few laps to go. And if he could hold on to this could be big for him and redeeming his season. And could even put him in contention with those top... Like, he's been that guy in 4th and 5th the entire season that, you know, nobody's really been talking about. But late in the season, he could be a contender for 3rd and even 2nd. Crossing the line now for 2 to go. And you can see Slaunch is just being really aggressive with Real Deal. He wants this spot because he's going to need that spot and he's going to need a few more. Oh, Real Deal, another mistake through the first round. He's able to hold Slaunch off at the moment. That was huge that he's able to fend him off. But is he going to continue? Another mistake out of... A nice save, though. I got to say, I'm going to review that after the race. That was a nice freaking save. So a big mistake again out of Real Deal, but potentially a championship saving save. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that, but he got a really bad 2-wheel, and he clearly let off the gas to save himself from flipping. So that was really clutch. Which is weird. You don't really... When discussing a championship, you don't really see recoveries mentioned at all. But a lot of the times, it's not about making the least mistakes. It's about how you recover from your mistakes. And Real Deal making that nice save right there could be... It could be the championship difference, really. It's just weird because you don't often think about saves or recovering from mistakes as things that decide championships. You usually think about not making them in the first place. But in this case, it might be the opposite, or might be a little bit different, more nuanced. Oh, Detail with a big mistake late. This is not good. He's trying to recover. Luke's trying to stay to the outside, and that outside line, just not a good enough run. And Detail's going to be able to just hold him off going into the white flag. That could have been a catastrophic mistake for Detail right there. And I hope it actually is the white flag. I hope I'm not incorrect. We'll see. But yeah, that is not good, man. That could not have come at a worse time for him. A good thing that he got that huge gap earlier, because that could have been race ending. But he's still holding on to the lead here, but he's still got Luke breathing down his neck. Although, one thing that I do know, with the way that they are lined up right now, Luke's going to take this overall regardless without even taking a moto win. So he doesn't even need to get by Detail right here. He just needs to run safe and hold on to this position. Is he going to risk it for the moto win, or is he just going to hold on to the overall? Or is there even going to be a gap open to go for the moto win in the first place? They both run the rhythm pretty well, so no time is gained or lost there. They both run the wall jump pretty well, pretty cleanly. And it looks like Roman might have just gotten by Hunter for 5th. That could be huge. That could be huge. We'll relook at that afterwards. Luke trying to make gains on Detail, but there's not that much time left. I think Detail might be able to hold it off, but this has been the worst spot for him all event for sure. This rollover, he hits it clean. Can he do the rhythm section clean? Luke's going to go for the opposite line to try to make something happen. He gets some speed. Luke has a pretty good run. Going to the line. Oh, tries to make a big move for the win, but, it wasn't going to happen. He's going to hold on to that 2nd place. Detail is going to take his 3rd Moto win of the season, and Luke's going to take his 5th overall of the season, and Real Deal is going to clinch the championship there in 4th. I need a drench. We're going to have to do some reviewing of that last lap there. There's a lot of action yet again. All right, so before we do some real some reviews, let's look at the finishing results. Okay, so Detail takes his 3rd Moto win of the season, but is gonna get bested for the overall by Luke for 1 point. And fun fact, this happens like once or twice a season. That is actually the first time that this has happened this season. Luke wins an overall without taking a Moto win. Every season there's somebody that does it. There's somebody that takes a Moto win, an overall win without taking a Moto win. And this season it was Luke here at Penitentiary. So that shows that sometimes, especially at these final races, sometimes consistency can pay off on these final races and the Supercross races, because if you go 2-2, somebody goes 1-5 like Detail, that's just enough to edge them out, just enough. So going through the rest of these Moto 2 results, Saunch gets 3rd, Real Deal gets 4th, Roman gets 5th, Hunter gets 6th, Shift gets 7th, by the way. That's a really nice result out of Shift. Opix gets 8th, Phil gets 9th, Elite 10th, Camby 11th, Vulcan 12th. Overall results, Luke's going to take the overall with 30. Detail is going to take 2nd overall in a tiebreaker with Roman. He wins the tiebreaker. He's going to take 29 points. Roman with the 3rd overall at 29 points. Clutched up for 3rd overall on the last lap, but again, it wasn't enough for an overall. Saunch with the 4th overall, 27 points. Hunter with the 5th overall, 25 points. Real Deal with the 6th overall, 24 points. Just enough to clinch the championship. Opix with the 7th with 16 points. Camby 8th, 15. Vulcan 9th, 15. Shift 10th, 14. Phil 11th, 13. Elite 12th, 13. And Armada 13th with 8. So I'll look at some replays of the final lap there because that's pretty exciting. Alright, what do I want to review? There's kind of a few things. So the first thing we're going to look at is Real Deal's save, which I don't recall if it happened on the first lap or not. Definitely didn't. It was on the final lap. It was the lap before, right? Because I think he was ahead of Saunch at the time. So it must have been right here. So this, in my opinion, this is like the championship move here for Real Deal, because he could have ended this race with Saunch still having a chance, but he makes a clutch, like, split-second decision here. As you can see, he's going to run the inside, cuts it a little too deep, and that's going to pop his tires up. Complete two-wheel, clearly messes with the throttle a little bit there to save it, and he's going to lose the position to Saunch. But all he gets is a case. All he does is case the jump instead of completely flipping over. That was absolutely huge. So as you just saw there as well, Hunter also made a mistake. He hit the inside, and that was big. Well, we got a few things to look at. We'll get to that in a second. So this is big for Detail right here in a little bit. So as you can see, Detail's got this race won at this point. Like, there's no way Luke can work this gap. But then Detail works the race open again. Almost makes a mistake through the rollover again, but he works the race open again right here. Takes that line completely improperly and holds onto the throttle. I think same thing as Real Deal, honestly, If you look at this again closely, same thing as Real Deal. You can tell he makes a similar move, like a race-saving maneuver here, because he goes down off the face of the jump. But as you can see, completely on one tire, no dismount, and as you can see, the tire stopped moving there because he completely let off to save the Mongoose, get it back on 4 wheels, and gets it going just fast enough to get a really nice run. As you can see, Luke had him on the outside, but Detail got it going at just the right time. He got an amazing run on the exit of that jump and was able to get the spot back. So that was the race-winning or race-saving move for him. Final thing to watch. Final thing to watch was Roman's clutch pass here to tie for 2nd overall. Obviously not good enough to get the overall, but it was still a pretty big move. Definitely improved his points and puts him in a good position to compete for 3rd or 2nd in points going into the final week. I think it's 3rd actually. But here we go. And I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm kind of just waiting for something to happen because I genuinely don't know what happens here. I'm assuming Hunter goes down in the rhythm. Oh yeah, Hunter let off a little too much throttle control out of Hunter, and Roman just had a clean run, and that's going to be that spot for him. And then he's just going to hold on. Yeah, he's just going to hold on to it. All right, so final thing I want to review. It's kind of funny. It just looks kind of funny at the end, so I want to show this. But you have the battle between Detail and Luke. Pretty close going into here, and this is the last-ditch effort for the win. Trying to cut it as far inside as possible, not able to do it. And really, like, if you want to try to make a move like that work, what you have to do is you have to, without wrecking them, you have to try to make contact with the guy on the outside. So really what Luke tried to do was, like, make contact with Detail to steal his momentum. But as you can see, it was too far inside. If he went a little bit higher, he might have pulled that off, but way too far inside. So if you want to try to make a move like that work, you got to try to land, like, right in the middle. It's very tough to pull off. There you go. There's Penitentiary. That wasn't really a smooth move, Roman. You really had to do nothing. Hunter just messed up. But, yeah. End of the video there. See you guys.